J. Cole fans are getting spicy. What's up, word? Your boy Challz Brown back again talking facts. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit the notification bell. Keep sending those Cashaps to CLBMG. Join that membership. And are you buying that merch down below? Gang, listen. So ever since the release of this J. Cole announcement for the Fall Off album that many of us have said, we kind of liked it. We thought it was kind of well done. We thought it was kind of genius in a way to present himself in a different light as an everyday man. He's washing his car, even though that ain't no everyday man's car. I believe that's a Lamborghini truck, right? But at the end of the day, he's washing his car like most of us do. He's fumbling for quarters to put in the machine like most of us do. Most of us drop the quarters as we're trying to get the washer to work. He's at the Waffle House of all places, eating God knows what. But we thought it was well done, and people like myself that have been kind of on edge about Cole for the last 2 years, ever since it's almost been 2 years, people believe it or not, ever since the unceremonious 7-minute drill record drop where he challenged his buddy, like he likes to say, his man, his friend, to a scrimmage, right, a sparring match where he pretty much dismissed his whole catalog and said that basically he wasn't on his level rapping, then went back and said 2 days later that it was the lamest thing he's ever done, decided to tell his fans at Dreamville Fest that K-Dot was the greatest, and that he was in a place spiritually that he didn't like, and he didn't want to be there anymore, and he was going to delete that record and never speak of it again, and he was hoping that K-Dot could forgive him, and if he didn't forgive him, he would take it on the chin. Remember all that? He apologized to him for doing something, quote unquote, so lame, and he just was trying to move forward. And a lot of you people applauded him and said, good for Cole. And a lot of you came up with these stories, which to me, and I know it sounds good until you really think it through. When you heard that allegedly Schoolboy Q called him and told him to get out the way because this is personal. You don't want to be in the middle of this. This will not be a sparring match. These guys are going to cut each other's head off, and you don't want to step in between that, right? Meanwhile, you do remember that Cole swung first. Let's be honest. The Like That record just said two guys kissing and hugging on stage, and it only really said it's just big. It ain't no big three. It's just big me. So honestly, Cole went out the window out of all three of them and swung first with that 7-minute drill. And here we are, right? For him to swing first and then bow out first, it kind of rubbed us the wrong way. Us real MCs and us real hip hop fans, the people that revere this culture, right? So we have a right to feel away. Now, I told you that was almost 2 years ago, right? It's been, believe it or not, that all happened. It was a whirlwind, and it changed the lives of all three of them rappers for the better and for the worse in most ways. Two of them, they got the raw deal, right? One of them went on to do one of the biggest, if not the biggest hip-hop show in tour in history, in stadiums, no less, did the Super Bowl and every other kind of accolade and award you can imagine off of a disc record, like they like to say, right? And the other ones, it ain't looking real good. This guy, Cole, has been pretty much hiding in the mountains somewhere on his bike, doing whatever he does in the mountains. He did like one podcast, and then he did his own little episodes or whatever where he was talking about himself. And after that, that was it. You ain't see Cole unless you was at the Waffle House or you was in his local town at the daggone car wash. You wasn't going to see him nowhere else, right? Apparently, because we don't have no footage of where Cole was at. Cameron went and sued him for a verse. He never got a whole lot of stories, and this, that, and the third came out about what he didn't do in the third, right? Wale said he got wind of he was because Wale dropped an album, and on his press front he decided to speak up about the time that he found out that Cole dissed him on False Prophets through YouTube and the release like everybody else. He found out when the song dropped, and when he reached out to Cole, he said that Cole told him that record is not about you. Well, we all know that False Prophet is about Wale and False Prophet is about Kanye. So that was strike two. A lot of us were like, come on, Cole, you're doing a lot of wacky stuff, right? Now, I say all that to say this. I have been reporting on Cole since this thing happened, and I've had some not too flattering videos, and for a time it was good because what was happening was the Cole fans, they were defending for a little bit, I want to say about 4 months. I want to say 4 or 5 months. If you made a cold comment, they came out the woodwork. But for the most part, 4, 5, 6 months later, the fervor had died down, and Cole fans had started to accept that this may be life. We may have seen our guy fall flat. He may have just assassinated his own character in hip hop, and it's really hard to defend him when he's not out here defending himself. Right? Remember that for a while we didn't know where Cole was or what he was doing. Then he came out, I want to say, maybe a year later with Port Antonio, that love letter to Drake, as if we all didn't know what was going on. He rehashed the whole battle and then basically poured a whole lot of sugar on Drake, and they had really nothing to say to K-Dot, the friend that he didn't want to ruin the relationship with. Well, K-Dot said in no uncertain terms, what bridges? All them bridges burn. So you can say whatever you want, because I ain't picking up the phone no more, right? Lose my number, my guy. So at the end of the day, they weren't friends no more, and he knew it, and he made a love letter to Drake, which rubbed a lot of us the wrong way. And that's one of the moments where I was up and down with Cole, and I was like, Jesus, here we go again. This guy, it's like every time you take a step forward and you decide to forgive him, because I even have videos on this channel. I may forgive Cole, and a lot of you got in my comments said, listen, don't forgive him because he's going to do something else to piss you right back off again. And sure enough, it happened. But because like I love the Clouds record, didn't love the what was that, Grippy or something like that. Just up and down, gang. It's all over the place. So here we are once again, where we were trying to figure out this situation, which where do we place Cole in hip hop history? His fans, meanwhile, have become very despondent, and they were almost inactive. I'm just gonna be honest. They would poke their head out here and there, but for the most part, you wouldn't hear a peep from these J. Cole fans. Well, gang, after he released this thing, something happened, gang. I slowly started to notice that they were getting a little spicy. And what I'm going to do tonight, I'm going to show you how spicy. I kind of slowly saw this come. As soon as it dropped, when the announcement dropped, when you go in his comments, they're like, yeah, let's go. Da, da, da. They got their battery in their back. They showing their muscles. They got muscle T-shirts on. They looking really, really, they spicy again, gang. And I'm going to tell you how I know that they spicy. Because I have done at least a minimum of 7 Cole videos where we're not flattering at all. They were very condescending and a whole lot of shit to Cole, because that's how I felt at the moment. Well, I wasn't getting that much pushback, right? They would trickle in, trickle out, da da da. Okay, I even did one. I want to say couldn't have been 3 weeks ago at best, where I said Cole is your worst friend. That's not a good title. It wasn't a whole lot of pushback. I said Cole is your worst friend because Wale had came back with the story about how he found out about him being dissed on False Prophets through the radio like everybody else. And he said that when he confronted him, he didn't tell him the truth. And he said he had just the night before had an extensive conversation with some very personal stuff that he talked to Cole about in his personal business. He thought Cole was a real friend. And he said Cole never mentioned the record, never mentioned the song, so he felt betrayed. That was a long time ago. I think False Prophets, probably 10 years old at this point. I don't know how old it is, but around that, something like that. So therefore, he felt betrayed, and he never ever really. He said that they're cool now, but you know, dudes like Wale gonna say we're cool now, but he really wouldn't have told the story if they was cool. Let's just be honest. So end of the day, it kind of like was a little wonky. So I did that video, not much pushback at all, not much going on. Okay, so gang, after this thing came out yesterday or the day before, this announcement and the record, right? Track 2, disc 2, whatever it is, whatever that record he dropped, the song that he's rhyming backwards, this, that, and the third, right? These J. Cole fans have turned into Drake fans, gang. They got a battery in their back and they're not having it. So now when I post my little video, I was talking about, what did I say about this video? I just put it up. I said, I'm conflicted about the fall off, right? It's not the same now. These guys are really not having it. And I put up, I took some of the responses, because I know I say these things and I don't always tell you guys actually what's going on. But I put some shorts up. I clipped this thing up. So it's on my TikTok, it's on my Twitter, it's on my Facebook. And I'm going around collecting these comments, because these aren't the same. These are not the same J. Cole fans from a few months ago. I think this song and this little video, this little announcement has put the battery back in these guys' back, and they're getting obnoxious, gang. I think we may see some brand new Drake fans all over again. Remember when they was kind of These guys were kind of like humble and like, yo, Cole is the guy, that's my guy, and they would even say, but you know, I feel, I understand you, da da da. Now it's straight up and down. They coming out the woodwork, gang. They are really really spicy, like your boy Drake say. And I think we may be low key seeing a resurgence of these guys wanting to get back out there, gang. And they might want to start reclaiming this thing in no uncertain terms. They're telling me Cole can rap about whatever he wants to rap about because I made a statement that he can't come back rapping like he's the best MC. He's a done dot on the microphone. He wants to smoke this, not third. That's been the consensus in hip hop, right? But we're seeing now, this time around, now that he's dropped this video and this promo and this song, the narrative, they want to erase that narrative. Even Wayno got a video today. When are you going to forgive J. Cole? Wayno's telling us that we've been holding on to this too long, and he's basically saying in no uncertain terms, you guys need to let it go. The narrative now that they're spinning is we're dragging it. Right? So now they got their armor and shield and they're getting spicy. And I went and I poured a couple of these. I only got a couple because it only takes a little bit, right? Some of these comments, they wasn't like this a couple months ago, gang, but they are just really excited about this fall off record, and they're letting me know on no uncertain terms they will not have this shit whatsoever. I got the right to say what I want. I can feel a certain way about any rapper, any DJ, right? Anybody, right? But they're like this, not on my watch. I'm seeing these guys, they're starting to get a little like, these are warriors now. They're getting the battery in their back, and in no uncertain terms, they are not letting me get away with what I used to, right? Like I said, the same video 3 weeks ago ain't this kind of pushback. So let me read some of these comments just so you can see what I'm talking about. They getting a little spicy. You may be seeing a resurgence of like, they might be ready to go. You know how them Drake fans, they went crazy and turned up real wild all last year and the last 2 years? Well, I think Cole fans, especially with this album coming out, I think they think he got something cooking and they want him to come with all the smoke. Let me read this. So on my YouTube short, right? I got the YouTube short. I titled it "J. Cole can never diss rappers after apologizing to Kendrick." Right? It's a short on my YouTube channel. You can check all of these links out. Everything I'm saying is there, right? So I'm like, boom, I do these shorts all the time. So I'm like, I read the comments, yada, yada, yada. But some of these got a little spicy. I'm like, oh, these guys is tough again. They got their battery in their back, right? So the first one, some of these are unhinged, but some of them are just like, you know, I didn't get them all. I had a lot of people saying corny, your cornball, da-da-da, old head, da-da-da, right? That's typical shit. But let me read this. At DDRK6KN, he wrote, why shouldn't he be able to not like you, decide that? But this guy's writing all over the place. But you glorify K-Dot, who made claims of the other guy being a pedo with no proof. K-Dot, the same guy that gets pushed by the establishments, he pretends he wants to tear down. People just followers. Just glorify the guy the white man wants you to glorify. Embarrassing. So he basically saying that I'm sitting here tearing down J. Cole when Kendrick is the real problem. And the white man is deciding who I should tear down. And I'm not looking at the DD. I don't know what he's trying to tell me with this, but it sounds like he don't agree, right? It sounds like he thinks K-Dot got something going on where I shouldn't be saying nothing about Cole because K-Dot is the problem. Let me read this other guy, Underground Ambition. He got a little saucy. He said, y'all be leaving out so much context just to prove your idiotic points. It's laughable. J. Cole doesn't need to diss anyone on his albums. He never has. LOL. So Underground Ambition thinks my points is idiotic and laughable. And J. Cole don't need to diss anyone on his album. Well, we all know that J. Cole did a lot of smack talking on a lot of them albums. A lot of imaginary MCs got ripped to shreds by J. Cole. Let's just be honest. And a lot of times he said he was the best rapper. And a lot of these comments were telling me J. Cole never said he was the best. I disagree. Let me do this other one. Locked In 2026. He wrote, it was becoming personal between Drake and Kendrick. He wanted it to strictly be rap. Y'all sound stupid, honestly. So basically, he's telling me that it was something that Cole. This is what they want to do. They want to absolve Cole of all fault in this, right? It was becoming personal between Drake and Kendrick. He wanted it to strictly be rap. Y'all sound stupid. So apparently, he stumbled in and looked around the room, and they like, wait, these guys are serious. Oh, that's what happened? This what you want to tell me, Locked In? You want to tell me that he just stumbled in and just didn't know, he don't know what's going on? This is a rapper, gang. One of the best rappers allegedly on the face of the earth. So you telling me he came in that battle, didn't realize it was personal. He didn't know these guys didn't like each other? This is what you trying to tell me? You thought it was just going to be a friendly fade with these two guys who've been damn near threatening each other for 10 years straight, a Cold War? You thought they were just going to have a friendly fade? Oh, okay. All right. Well, then I guess then I'm the fool, right? Let me continue. So A Visuals 8626 said he can do whatever he wants because y'all, he said he can do what he wants because, hey, y'all gonna do, these niggas be writing wild. Y'all not gonna listen, that's fine. Y'all can't stop him from doing it. So he's basically telling me that no matter what you do, Cole can rap how he wanna rap, doesn't matter what you think. Billy Ocean 336 just wrote cornball take, basically. And Jerson Moo said, your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. Grow up. He's telling me basically Cole is my guy's favorite rapper and I need to grow up. So basically these are light. This is the light shit right here, right? But they get a little more spicier. This just dipping the toe. So let's keep it moving. On my full YouTube video, right? A couple of the comments was crazy. My channel gonna have most of my people, but they came in there anyway. AJ91X2 said all the haters on this channel don't listen. Simple. You're low-key fans on the low. Imagine not trying to listen to the greatest in this game. I'm telling you, they getting spicy. And then Mike 4PF said, Cole doesn't care about your opinion, you parasocial old man. They getting spicy, gang. I'm telling you, they not really with the shits right now. Leroy Green said, if you ever apologized before, and you mad at Cole did to Kendrick, you a hypocrite. So now I'm a hypocrite. I'm a parasocial old man. This is light work, gang. This is every day. But at the end of the day, I just wanted to show you that these Cole fans, they're not taking this lightly. Now, this one right here that I'm going to read, DM0780, it got kind of like this one. This one was a little unhinged, but I'm going to read it to you anyway. As a hip-hop fan, it's becoming annoying that every time J. Cole drops new music, it has somehow been contextualized around a beef he voluntarily stepped aside from. All those guys' careers are bigger than what happened in 2024, including Drake. Low-key, yes, they are, but it still happened. They want to remove the fact that still happened, gang. Like I watched the Wayne on thing, and he wants to make it like, yo, let's just get back to the rapping. It still happened. We have rules in rap. Cole broke the rules. I don't know what it is. They're trying to make it like we're dragging it. We're wrong for still talking about it. Well, nothing has really happened since he did it, gang. This is his first album release. We're not going to forget this. We're not going to forget everything that happened because now he wants to be just what? Just scratch everything that happened and just start him from the beginning. Like what? Just erase the whole 2024 No, we're not doing that. So yes, we're going to talk about it. But can we? He says Kendrick won that moment and we accept that and applaud his showcase of talent. But can we stop holding them all hostage to that moment? We never forget in hip-hop, gang. We're still talking about shit that happened 30 years ago. We never forget. It doesn't mean we're not going to listen to the album or this, that, and the third, but we are never going to forget. And most of the people in my comments and everywhere else is saying the same goddamn thing. So at this point, J. Cole going to have to come out with his record in spite of that because he's not going to get a fair, clean slate. It's not going to happen. Let me continue. This is J. Cole's final album, and as a hip-hop fan, I refuse to believe that his legacy is simply dimmed down to him refusing to engage in a beef that was clearly not his fight. Why wasn't his fight? He started fighting first. He should have thought of that before he made the 7-minute drill record. This is the one thing that people keep forgetting. He could have not done it. I said in the beginning, please don't respond. If you go back into my videos, before he dropped anything, I said, Cole, please don't respond. I was not gassing him. I said, no one wants to see this. And then when he dropped it, I said, God damn it, he dropped it and he didn't and he really want to. You can hear it in his voice. You can hear it in the lyrics. He didn't want to do it, but he did it anyway. And these guys want us to forget that. It does not work like that. And he says, especially in light of how things ultimately turned out and how personal the engagement became, something any J. Cole fans knows he has no interest in. How can he not have no interest in it when he's the first one out of the gate that swung? They keep making it like this guy is just sitting. This is the narrative that we're fighting when we talk about Cole. They're like this guy is some sad monk sitting around with his knees folded and his hands on his stomach, just sitting there. Like this is not that. Doing yoga all day. This guy actively jumped in this beef. He felt the way. Cole tries to make it like, yo, I didn't even really want to do it. That's what he said in the song. I didn't really want to do it. You shouldn't have did it. It happened, and now we remember. We're not gonna forget it. Let me continue. Can we just appreciate Can we just appreciate the music for what it is and not spin narratives for the sake of engagement and content? It's truly whack, especially when it's grown adults pushing these narratives. See, the funny thing about this, it's not that what does us being grown have anything to do with it? He's grown. Everybody talking about this is grown. Do better, please, for your own peace of mind. You're a fan. We're fine. We're just talking about hip hop. He happens to be a part of it. You were fine when we were saying Cole was great. Cole was part of the top 3, this, that, and the third. You had no problem with that narrative, right? But the narrative where he effed up, now you want me to forget about it and for my own peace of mind. I'm good, gang. My peace of mind is fine. Let me continue. J. Cole has addressed and given his reasons for disengaging that whole altercation, which in hindsight was the right move for him. He has moved on. Y'all should too. Let's just enjoy the music for what it is. So I'm like this. And I called that one unhinged. That wasn't really unhinged. I got some more coming. But that one was a Cole fan that wants us to just stop talking. That's not how the internet works, gang. And quite a few of these people keep talking about, you're doing this for engagement, da-da-da-da. Well, you clicked on it to engage with it. Okay? So we all doing this for a reason. End of the day, these are our opinions and we have a right to them. You can't just keep asking us to wipe it away and forget. We don't have to. It is what it is. If he would have won the Super Bowl, would he want us to forget that? We can't sit here and remember all the good things this guy did. That's what his fans ultimately want. They just want us to go back to when everybody loved J. Cole and was rooting for him. Well, the battle wasn't the only time that people was having funny feelings about Cole way before the battle started. I'm just going to be honest. Okay? This ain't no brand new shit. The battle just exposed it to a point where people couldn't ignore it no more. But Cole had a lot of suspect shit before that battle. A lot of it. Right? So we're not going to sit here and act like he had one mistake. That's what they want us to boil it down to. He had one mistake. He did one thing wrong and you guys won't let it go. He did a lot of shit, gang. And that's what they don't want us to talk about. Ultimately, they just want us to have shits and bubblegum memories for this guy and nothing else. Well, I'm good on that. Let me continue. Coop Dreams 39 said, get over it, dude. Either going to listen or not. Stop with the other bullshit. Okay? So now, end of the day, we're not even supposed to talk about it. We're just supposed to either listen or don't and be quiet. This is what the Cole fans are coming out of the woodwork to say. These guys are pumped up, right? Let me continue. Jawan R. said, he's a lot better than y'all favorite rappers. Sure, they feeling good about themselves. Deshaun Brown said, leave J. Cole alone. You guys need to get a life and stop talking crap. J. Cole doesn't have to do nothing to defend no one. None of you people who talking in the comments are without sin. Leave people alone, haters. Okay, Deshaun, calm down, okay? Calm down. It ain't got nothing to do with his sin and hate and all this. People have a right to feel this way until J. Cole reverses the narrative, and I don't think a lot of people even care enough to reverse the narrative. People have decided, listen, just stick to your raps about matcha latte and this, that, and the third, right? Yoga class, stick to that. Pilates class and what linen feels good on your skin, stick to them raps. That's what people are saying. Now, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying you're going to have to really be careful if you want to come back in this MC space talking about ripping up MCs, okay? Let me continue. Reginald Walker said, J. Cole is a dope hip-hop artist. We need to stop getting in these artists' personal lives and how they conduct business. How am I getting in his personal life? I don't know nothing about J. Cole's personal life. How am I in his personal life and how he conducts business? This stuff is all stuff that he's put out there to the world. Every single thing. He made False Prophets. He made 7 Minute Drill. He dropped these records. He's the one that made first person shooter. These are all public things that happened on his accord. No one went into his trash can and dug it up. Okay? So we have a right to comment on anything he's put out to the world. It is what it is. Hip hop is turning into a soap opera. Nobody is listening to music. At the end of the day, nobody personally knows. None of these rappers just listen to the music, then decide if it's good or bad. Reginald, it don't work like that. Okay? It don't work like that. And we are talking about the music. We're talking about 7 Minute Drill. We're talking about first person shooter. We're talking about Clouds. We're talking about Grippy. We're talking about all that. So this is all about the music, gang. End of the day, we're talking about the Like That record. We're talking about a lot of this stuff is related to the music. We're talking about Port Antonio. So most of the things that I'm talking about are related to songs, right? Track 2, disc 2, all that. All of this shit is related to the music, my G. the Fall Off album, what it's going to be like, what he can and can't rap about it. All of this is about the music. So I don't know where you're going with this, dog. Let me continue. Here's the unhinged one. And this one right here, this one made me nervous. I'm like, I don't know. I hope this motherfucker don't have. Listen, I don't know, man. I don't even want to read the name. But I'm going to say it's RB3V. I'm going to leave it at that. We didn't, you did. Because I said I'm conflicted, right? The video was called I'm Conflicted About the Fall Off. And I was basically saying I kind of took issues with J. Cole after everything that happened in the last 2 years. So this person goes, we didn't, you did. You are not God nor his only fan. I will say this, you, like the rest of the world, would rather see a casket than a candle. The ones who know culture and not community. This is why you happy to have this fake deep artist who actually dark his soul and will get on a stage with a bunch of gang members dancing a symbolic way that represents they have all unalived someone, more than likely of their own kind, but this is culture, not community. I ain't even done with this, and this already is doing too much, talking about dark souls and gang members. First of all, gang members are human beings too, and every gang member has an unalived someone. I'm just going to start there, okay? And some of these people that you may think is so holier than thou, this, that, and the third, some of them actually have unalived somebody. So let's just keep it to what we know. But let me continue. Watch the apology, and he apologized to his fans and for allowing a lower spirit to lower his spirit. That's why one said, I see dead people, and the other one said they want their people to die of old age, one culture, one community. So they're trying. If you nitpick long enough, I guarantee you I can go and nitpick a bunch of J. Cole lines and make it seem damn near demonic. So, yeah, you can pick the good lines that you want, and you can pick the lines that Kendrick said, I see dead people. First of all, that's from a movie, gang. That's from a movie about ghosts, right? So, end of the day, this is not that. Okay? So, you're trying to make it into this deeper, darker meaning. This is the unhinged shit. But let me continue. God doesn't love gangsters. God loves people, those with a pure heart. For this reason, we have K and Cole, one who showed he would sacrifice the culture before he was sacrificed for the culture. Same on the stage. Right, Jay? Because the Gemini is his own eye, needs validation with the Grammy. Again, unhugged, unhinged, and unhealed. Go invest in the homicide line. You save 2 for 1, or the system may get a 2 for 1 deal. So, this is dark, gang. I'm going to be honest. I don't know why a person would write all this when I'm just saying, I don't know if I should, I don't know about J. Cole with this new album. I don't know what to expect. I'm talking about J. Cole and the issues I have with him and what he may or may not rap about on the Fall Off. This turned into some unhinged, go unalive people, gangbangers are murderers, like this whole lot of bullshit. But it's just, these out there reaching, gang. I tell you, it's getting kind of spicy, gang, and I don't understand some of these people, and I don't ever want to meet these people nowhere, right? So now I move on over to my TikTok, and as I said, they all over. All of these posts now to out of nowhere, they're getting really spicy because they feel like they got the battery in their back and their God is back. I guess, I don't know. But on my TikTok clip, someone, Jackson Smith, 9345, said, can we move forward yet, or y'all finna drag this to the grave? Right? They want me to stop talking about this. They just want me to shut up and dribble, right? They just like, listen, let Cole come out, let the album be what it is. They think that my videos or videos like this is going to somehow deter people going to listen anyway. You guys can calm down, all right? Clutch X wrote, fighting and rapping are different. I don't think Cole better than K-Dot, but y'all wilding if you think Cole can rap better than 98% of the industry. So what he was talking about is I gave an analogy that if Muhammad Ali ducked a fight, well, he was supposed to fight. I said Muhammad Ali has to fight, what's my guy? Damn, he's fucking the great. He has to fight him, right? I'm gonna get this fucking guy in a minute. But if Muhammad Ali don't fight this guy and he bows out of the fight, he's Joe Frazier. I'm sorry. If Muhammad Ali says he's going to fight Joe Frazier, then he swings at Joe Frazier, misses him, and then says, "My bad, Joe. You're the greatest," and runs off. What would we think about Muhammad Ali? We would tell Muhammad Ali, when he comes back, don't fight nobody else. You got to wear a suit and just be humble, right? So this guy was basically saying fighting and rapping are different, right? So this is what some of these people are reacting to. Devin Green said he is the best rapper, and anytime he gets on a song with another rapper, he washes them. So these guys are feeling big bone and brolic, and you're going to start getting bombarded with a lot of this. I think we going to see something where we might be getting the same treatment that we got on Twitter from these Drake fans, where it got really, really wonky, and a lot of bots and people from overseas were really getting kind of spicy, right? So now I went to my Twitter, and you know what that is. You know how that's going to be. That's going to get really, really spicy because that's where hate lives. Gang, let's just be honest. And I know people be like, Charles, why you on Twitter? I got to be. Gang is my job at this point. That's where most business is conducted in this hip-hop space, right, wrong, or indifferent, right? So I went to my Twitter short, which gave the Muhammad Ali scenario, and boy, oh boy. Right now, I mean, last time I checked, it was like at 10,000 views, but a lot of these are different these are different animals. So let me start with this and get this and give you a taste of what's going on Twitter. So Heavy Handsome St. Patrick, he goes, we don't care what y'all think, give it a rest. Code to go, it's okay, punk ass nigga. Basically, PAN means punk ass nigga. They abbreviating their insults these days. So he came in hot, right? Punk ass nigga, shut your ass up. Let me continue. Pedro Morales, Mangalales, Mulatto. He got a lot of names. I'm not making these names. It's very long. That's who said this. So he wrote this. I love how niggas trying to tell a grown man what he can and cannot rap about. Either listen or don't. Half these rappers be capping, yet still be in rotation. Lyrically, he one of the best. That's how he's supposed to feel. Now, I never said he can't rap about how he feels like he's the best. I said he can't rap about dissing rappers. Two different things. He can rap about it's a whole lot of birds and the bees, stars, moon, and quasars. He can do all that good slick shit, and we'll love it. But he can't get on that mic talking about ripping in the rappers and cutting their bodies open. We don't want to hear that, because when you had Dot to do that too, the biggest and the baddest rapper, you could have took him out before all this shit started. So we don't want to hear you talking about ripping in the rappers, all right? Skeeter Jones said, just don't listen to the music then, Big Pimpin'. It's that simple, right? They want me to just shut up and dribble, mind my business. Dash, this one was a blue check mark, and he came out of nowhere with a whole lot to say. Dash K93, respectfully, y'all need to chill with the micro-analyzing the artist beef. LOL. The beef will be 2 years old this April. We seen what it turned into and it's done. As far as Cole with this likely being his last album, I fully expect and support him to rap however the fuck he wants. Either listen or don't. They're getting real spicy, gang. It's getting real spicy. I'm telling you, these guys in their feelings and they just want me to be quiet. Daniel Granderson, right? He says he gonna do whatever the fuck he want, and y'all fat belly asses ain't finna do shit about it. These niggas getting spicy, gang. But Twitter, I told you, it's a different animal over there. They operate under different codes over there. Twin Empire said, we don't care, LOL. Brooke, I'm going to read this in Brooke voice because I think she probably said it just like this. Every rapper was supposed to think they the best. Like, what the fuck? Can't we just move on from this recycled conversation? Salute to you, Brooke 2.0. She had a point, but guess what? It's not recycled. It's the same conversation because we still talking about it. Ain't nothing recycled about it. I like how they try to make it like people can't think for themselves. They just regurgitating and recycling shit they heard from somebody else. No, I really feel this way, right? Mikey Fresh said the best comment of all. He said, stay humble. Fuck you, loser. That's what he said to me, gang. This is Twitter. I'm giving you right. This is what it is, gang. It's spicy on Twitter. I expect no less. I laugh and chuckle at all this shit. Let me keep this pushing. The biggest GOAT. He goes, niggas so fucking goofy, and these are old-ass niggas, LMAO. At the end of the day, his fan base beyond y'all gay-ass niggas that want to see grown men beef. This is what it is. The biggest GOAT said, listen, y'all want to see grown man beef. It ain't about wanting to see grown man beef. I don't know what part they're missing. He wanted the beef himself. He made a record that didn't work, and then he quit. So they keep making it, they keep putting it on me and everybody that's like stand on some business. You want to see a grown man beef. They calling me all kind of names, but I didn't start the beef. He did. He made a record, 7-minute drill, where he tried to embarrass this guy and disparage his catalog, and the people wasn't having it. He realized it was lame and he walked away. It wasn't no spirit. Nobody's buying that shit. Let me continue. JJJ198. These are dead ass bot fucking counts. But this one goes, JJJ goes, defund you podcast niggas, right? That's it. That's all he wanted to say. He's out. I'm out. Peace. So he want to defund all these podcast niggas like me, right? And this the last one I'm gonna read. This is a guy named Eclair Creetiff, and he added me directly, right? And so I ended up responding to him. He added me directly, said, at Charles Brown Life, how'd you feel about Jay-Z when he was still throwing slick shots at Nas after getting ethered and apologizing for Super Ugly on the radio days after dropping because his mom told him to? When were you able to listen to Jay-Z again after talking shit? So listen, if you don't know the full story, he has a point. So when I read that and he added me directly, I said, okay, well, since you want to know, I'm going to respond to you directly. And I responded in kind. What I said to Eclair, right? I said, since you asked me directly, I'll answer. Jay-Z never apologized for Super Ugly. He apologized for what he said about Carmen due to his mom's disapproval. But one thing for sure is he never said he felt lame for his diss record and delete the shit 2 days later at his own festival or say Nas was the greatest. Jay never did none of that shit. Let me keep this pushing. That shit 100% never happened, not even close. And yes, I listen to Jay-Z again. I'll listen to Cole too. It's not about losing, it's how he lost. He completely backed out after puffing out his chest for years. So no, don't say you're going to murder MCs no more. And didn't he say his spirit don't want that energy anyway? What is your actual point, right? So that was my rebuttal. He came back with some rebuttals. I'm not reading it because I don't care. I won't be responding to Eclair no more. Salute to Eclair. You got your back and forth. That's all we're going to do. And at the end of the day, I'm just showing you a touch of the iceberg. I think these J. Cole dudes are about to get real spicy. You see how they talking, especially on Twitter. You know how Twitter get. But, I mean, it is what it is. I would expect no less. It's entertaining. But I'm just telling you right now, we might be in the lineup for a year of these guys really, really getting obnoxious. We getting a taste of it, but you saw how Drake fans kind of slowly got really, really unbearable. Just keep an eye out. I just read you tip of the iceberg shit. These Cole fans, after this record drop, they might get unbearable, gang. And I'm going to leave it at that, man. Let me know what you think in the comments. CLBMG, man. Head on over to black-yeti.com. Let them know who sent you. Also, every Wednesday night, we go live on The What Show. Me, TJ, and Fliz tap in. All right? And we got a new video called This, That. The What Show is 9:15 on all my social media platforms. We got a new video called This, That. It's off the album called The What Project. We barking on that, man. Head on over to any streaming services. Type Charles Brown, The What. It'll pop up. And listen to it and run them numbers up, all right? Let me know what you think, man. I'm going to catch you on that flip side. Peace.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine.
Elevate your mind with high quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. black-yeti.com.
CLB.
Get my coat, get my sheepskin, grab my wallet, get my pocket knife, and get that hat right there. We out. Grab my pocket knife too. Let's go. When I first came to the city, niggas didn't believe me. I just wanted to join a team and throw assist pass easily. 6 man off the bench, alley-oop pass freely. Suit up for one game and hope a scout might see me. But nah, niggas is greedy, wasn't rocking with him. Unplugged the scoreboard, put a lock on the gym. Told me to power forward, point guard at the rim. And left me with no center and a ball full of phlegm. Not knowing that I'm a dog, a Rottweiler within. With the heart of a pit bull that don't bark for pretend. My bites cut deep, break the bone and the skin. With the level of hustlenomics you do not comprehend. So first I took a block down on the west side end, and then secured a spot with some goons and some kin. And then send out some flyers, let the games begin. And in 6 months' time, the city like that's him. Oh yeah, he the one that moved the hustle to the burbs. And yeah, he the one that knocked the hustlers off the curb. And yeah, he the one that set up shop without a word. And he the one that got it cracking. And all he did was rapping by the Hooters. I kept killers from being shooters. Put a mic in a thug's hand, now he loyal like Pats fans. Take a man off the streets past the needles and crack cans. Promise mama to keep him safe, then put some food in his face, and he'll kill for you. But I don't need him for that. Click like, click share. Tell them bitches we back. Share the whole location. Tell them niggas where we at. Cause we out here and we ain't the cheese, we the trap.